posted on ifbbpro.com for the 2021 Texas Pro. And I'm going to look at it for the very first time right now, read it off to you guys. I should say that it looks like it's incomplete because there's some names I know are doing the show, like Ian Valier, for instance. He's not on the list. He's definitely doing the show. Probably hasn't completed the contract or something like that. So let's look at the open class first, of course. I'm going alphabetically. Camilo Diaz from Colombia. Man, I've seen Camilo in, I want to say 4 shows this season. I think he's been in every show that I've covered for MD. Very consistent, looks huge. He's put on some size while he's been dieting. He's definitely was bigger at the Tampa Pro than he was at the earlier shows not that long ago. Indy Pro was only in May, the New York Pro, Chicago Pro. Pretty sure he was in all of those. Then we have Mohamed with a K, M-O-K, Hamid El Aman from Russia, originally from Egypt. Mohamed had a couple good placings, top 5 placings earlier this year. I think it was second place to Justin at the Indy Pro, I think. Didn't look as good in Tampa a couple days ago. One issue I saw with Mohamed, he really needs to control that midsection. For the finals, maybe it was because he wasn't in the first call out. Maybe he felt like it didn't matter anymore, but he was letting his abdomen hang, and you don't do that on stage. Apologize for my Hunter Labrada interview comments. Thank you. I appreciate that, Corey. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that was a tough interview, Hunter. That was one of the toughest interviews I've ever had to do because of the noise and how rushed it was. And he had a whole entourage of people waiting to leave. Moving on down the list, pro debut for this kid. I say kid because I think he's 22. Martin Fitzwater, 23. I just had him on Ronline a few weeks ago. Martin Fitzwater, living in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. He's the training partner of Brett Wilkin, who almost won the Chicago Pro. Hunter, he pushed Hunter very, very close for that win. But Martin, huge kid, so much size, really good shape. He's done a lot of videos for the Gasp channel. I think it's called Iron Den. Yeah, Martin, I'm looking forward to seeing this kid. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. Douglas Frucci from Los Angeles. I think I just saw him in Tampa. I feel like Martin is going to have a similar, yeah, Martin. I think Martin's going to surprise some people. Douglas Frucci from LA, big dude. I just saw him in the Tampa show. Dorian Haywood from Lakewood, Colorado. Dorian is still going. Dorian looked pretty good. You know, it's tough to get that balance of condition and fullness and everything. Looked pretty good in Tampa. Was not in the top 6. Kevin Jordan was also in the Tampa show. I thought he looked pretty good, but again, it was a tough lineup. Steve Kuklo, man, Steve Kuklo has to be the favorite going into this. Not just because he's in Texas. It doesn't matter. I'll just say, can Ian beat Steve? We're going to find out. It's fun to try to predict who's going to beat who. And sometimes, you know, if someone's like a consistent 3rd, 4th call-out guy, yeah, you could say they're probably not going to beat someone who's like an Olympian, like Steve Kuklo. Steve's been as high as 2nd at the Arnold Classic. He's been top 6 at the Olympia. 285 pounds on stage, ripped at 6 foot, 6'1", whatever he is. Big, wide dude with so much thick, dense muscle. Steve is a favorite. Ian not as good as he was, hyped up to be. Yeah. You know, Ian looked pretty good. We have to get them next to each other. We have to get these guys next to each other. You can't just say, Ian's going to crush Steve, Steve's going to crush Ian. You never know. Ian is weird in structure. He's so mad. Yeah, Ian's got a lot of size too, man. Don't sleep on Ian. Do not sleep on Ian. Remember, he was 7th place at the Olympia last year. That's not easy. 7th place in the world. Is Phil from the Tampa show doing Texas? Yeah, Phil Clayhar is not on the list either, and I know. I talked to Phil and his wife after the show. He's definitely doing Texas. So these lists, when they come out on Monday, they're very rarely are they complete. There's only 8 men in the open bodybuilding division listed here. I'm pretty sure by the time we get to the show Saturday, there's going to be 4 or 5, 6 more guys added to that list just for open men. I think anyone at the lineup can be a wild card for the first of the year. Yeah, I was just getting to that. Hassan Mustafa from Egypt. Hassan has been doing all the shows almost. He's been in almost every show. He wasn't in Tampa, but he's been in every show I've covered for MD this season. I'd like to say he's getting better and better, but I just want that extra degree of condition with Hassan. He's got so much muscle, so round, so full. I mean, he's probably got the biggest. The only person I can think of that probably has bigger legs than him is Rami, and maybe Hadi if you go pound for pound. But man, Hassan is so big, so round, so full. Hell of a physique, just massive, and that hanging muscle. Man, I would love to see Hassan all dried out, crazy condition. It's better for Hassan if he doesn't carb up at all. Well, that's between him and his coach, Aceto. Don't think this year, better than 2019. Yeah, every Olympia is a great show. We never had a. I've been to most of them since '91, and I've never been to one where I said, what a crappy Olympia. I've never walked out of Olympia feeling like it was a bad lineup. Some lineups are better than others. I mean, this year would be better if we get Phil in there. I hope Phil's going to decide to do it. It looks like he's training for it. Kai, I gave up on Kai. I love the guy, but I gave up on him as far as competing again. So that's the open division. 8 men listed. But like I said, Kuklo is probably the favorite. Hassan, man, Hassan could pull it off too. What's up, Ron? So it's going to be a great show. Gregory Elise. Greg, I have to apologize again. I forgot about Patricia Gosselin was the winner of the Chicago Pro Women's Physique, not Lenka Kurunkukova. My bad. So let's go to 212 alphabetical order. Charles Curtis from Phoenix. He was in Tampa. Oh, good, my friend. Toto DeJong from Santa Monica. I've seen him, California. I've seen him before. Very good shape on him. Martin Gomez, Salinas, California. Jason Herbert, Mobile, Alabama. Goes by JH the American Bully on Instagram. Also good. Austin Carr, Las Vegas, Nevada. Austin did not make top 15. He was one of my favorites for Tampa Pro. Did not make top 15. Why? Messed up at the last minute with carb up. Spilled over. Looks smooth as heck from the back. It's supposed to be great. Yeah, so that's an easy fix. That's something that you can fix in 1 week's time. If you've got a lagging body part or, some major issue, you're not going to jack about it in 1 week. But if it was just an issue of over carbing and spilling over, easy fix. And he's got a physique that could win, almost any 212 show. The guy's just packed full of muscle. Probably some of the best legs in the 212 division ever. Austin can fix it for sure. Yeah, Gregory. I mean, it's an easy fix. It's just they messed up with the peaking. They messed up with the carb loading and all that. He could very well look completely different. Any words from Guy? I haven't checked, but Guy did not make top 15 in Tampa. Haven't heard. Maybe he has posted about it on his stories or something. I haven't checked today. The last I checked, he hadn't posted anything, but he might have done something since then. Okay, so Austin Carr could be a favorite for sure. Yeah, see, I know this list is incomplete because think about 2020 Europa Pro. We're gonna do a Europa. The Europa list isn't out yet. But Rolly, I did see one picture of Rolly, and he is looking a lot bigger. So not on this list for 212 is Kareth Baggio, who just won Tampa. But we talked after the show, Milos, Kareth, myself, and they even had JM. They asked JM Manuel what he thought about it as far as going to Texas because he was concerned. I did a whole video about this. Suhorochko. Yeah, we're not talking about Europa. I'm sorry because the list isn't out. That's a whole other show. But he's very good. Kareth was worried that he didn't want to go to this show because he felt like, well, I don't want to take someone else's Olympia qualification away. I already have mine. We all talked him into it and said, dude, this is what you do for a living. You're a professional bodybuilder. Compete. Don't worry about, oh no, I'm taking away someone's Olympia, some spot. If they can't beat you, why should they be at the Olympia anyway? The Olympia is supposed to be the best of the best. He needs to go get the money. Yeah, get that money, Greg says. Exactly. That's what he said. Pick up another 10 G's. Why not? You're in shape. It's only another 5-6 days. Do it, dude. Do it. But he's not on the list, but he is doing that show. Todd Lee from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Not familiar with them. Leonardo Pacheco from Queens, New York. Wow, I haven't heard that name in quite a while. He used to do the New York Pro every year. I think he was doing it back when it was still called Night of Champions. I want to say Leonardo's been around a long time. David Robinson from Nebraska. Looked really good at this last show. Didn't get much of a look. I think is he one man's talent on Instagram? I think so. Johnny Shreve from Canada. Kuklo is not that crisp or quality in comparison to value. Yeah, Johnny Shreve was on the list for the Tampa show, and I never saw him. He never showed up. I don't know what happened to Johnny. I like Johnny. I like his videos. He's a good friend of Coach Greg Doucette. He has a similar, well, not a similar style because Greg kind of yells when he talks, but very honest, blunt videos, very informative. I like his stuff. And last on the list is Rachid Suki from Brazil. I'm not familiar with him, but Brazil's pumping out some crazy talent, so he might be good. Let's get into classic physique. Isaac Bear from Canada. He's been doing a few shows. Gets in really good condition. Harold Bright Jr., Texas. Joseph Angel Cortez, Texas. Neil Curry, United Kingdom. So Neil was second to this new guy, Urs. And is Urs on the list? Yeah. So Neil from the UK. I wasn't really familiar with him, even though I think I did see him at one of these other shows recently. But a very, very good competitor. Johnny got stomach virus? Oh, that sucks. Logan will beat them pretty easily. Well, Ron, you're the man. I am, right? So Logan is next on the list. Logan Franklin has been training his butt off for this. He's my favorite as far as who do I think is going to win. Looking at this list of names, I'd probably go with him. Yeah, Logan's got, crazy shape, symmetry, crazy arms. He's been working really hard on his chest. He's just got a really good look. He has some Arnold-esque aspects to his physique. Hello from Rochester, New York. Yeah, I know all about Rochester. George Farrow is also from Rochester. Yeah. It's upstate. Yeah. What that say? Please tell what shots you thought. What shots did Ian win? Front lat spread, side chest, side tricep, rear double bicep. I'm not a huge fan of his front double bicep, but it's not just about who wins more shots. It's not, they don't score it that way. It's, did he deserve to win? You guys can argue about that all day because it's a subjective sport. And once you get into the top 2-3 guys in a lot of pro shows, you could flip them any old way. It's really, you wouldn't be wrong. Ian had the worst back? No, he didn't have the worst back. Come on. Let me just finish up with the classic guys. Zanier Gaderpour from North Hollywood. Don't know him. Tony Harris, Charlottesville. I think I've seen Tony a few times. Ken Jones from Fresno, Texas. This isn't Kenny Jones, a former bantamweight from New York, is it? Imagine if that's him. Okay. Next on the list, Urs Kalaczynski. Urs Kalaczynski from Germany. 22 years old, just won the Tampa Pro. Beat some excellent competitors. I don't want to say he's like similar to Bumstead, but I do see some similarities with the height, the structure. He's very good. The condition is insane. The Miracle Bear, because Urs means bear in a lot of languages, actually Urso. Miracle Bear on Instagram, he posted some pictures. I don't know if they're putting his tan on or if they're doing Graston work on him or something, but in the pictures you could see every single little muscle fiber, stuff you can't really see on the stage. But man, if you did, it was like that guy from Austria who you've seen him probably in YouTube videos or pictures, who's just, you could see every little muscle fiber on this guy. Urs could definitely give Logan some trouble. Steve Lorius from New York. Steve was my favorite to win Tampa. He ended up in third. Yeah, third or fourth. He was third. Another thing with peaking, he just wasn't crisp enough, and I've seen people change in a few hours at these shows, just from the judging to the finals. Sometimes it's only 3-4 hours, and they flush out the water and all that, or just spill viz. Well, just because Phil messes up with himself doesn't mean he always does it with his clients. I think I've interviewed Phil, had him on Ron Line a couple of years ago, and he's his own worst enemy. He gets inside his head. He's probably someone who should always have a coach. Maybe he does. I don't know. But don't always judge a coach or whatever by the way they look or the way they peak. Sometimes they're inside their own head too much. But it could be an issue with Steve where it's an easy fix. If it was just water, it wasn't body fat, and he wasn't out of shape at all. He could have been tighter. Steve needs to be more alive on stage. This is a great physique, but he needs to be energized. Yeah, I agree, Greg. Steve doesn't have a lot of enthusiasm. He doesn't look, some of these guys get out there and they just look like they want it. They just look, you could see it in their eyes. They look fierce. You know, they're there to win. Steve, great hair. Wrestlers always have bad hair. Is that true? Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, like Steve just needed to be tighter. If Steve had been tighter, you know, he's got better. I like his shape better than this Urs kid. I like Urs a lot. I thought he had a hell of a physique, but I think Steve, the way he looked at the 2019 Arnold when he lost to George Peterson, he would have won that. I think. Ashwin Lucas from Texas, Carlos Rodriguez from Mexico, Danny Rosner from Texas, a lot of Texans. Kim Santos from Denton, Texas. That's where the Von Erichs are from, Denton. Urs has charisma and he looks motivated. Yeah, he was peeled. Yeah, Urs, he just had a good energy, a good charisma about him, and you know that does help, especially if it's really close. The physiques presentation is where someone's a little better poser. They just have a radiance about them. It's an energy, and if you look like you're there to win more than the other guy, you look like you want it more, and everything else is equal. If I'm a judge, I'm going to give it to that guy. If it's a coin toss anyway, I'll give it to the guy who's fired up rather than the guy who's like, you know, I want to see enthusiasm. I want to be excited. This isn't the most exciting sport compared to something like football or basketball or soccer where there's all this action going on. It's just guys on stage flexing. So, you know, little things make a huge difference in bodybuilding. Danny Kim Santos, Ronell Sales, don't know Ronell. Vladimir Sizov from Hollywood was just there. Most guys at Temp Pro look different. Yeah, the live stream. Have I ever judged a bodybuilding comp? Yeah, I have. I've judged a few. It's been a long time. I would never, and I did, you know, local shows. I would never want to judge a pro show. I can't imagine how tough it would be, especially divisions like bikini, men's physique. I'd be there all day trying to figure out who deserves to be first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Someone just asked about the live stream. You know, does it look different in person? Absolutely. You know, they do a great job with these live streams, and they are going to have one. Go to Battle Up Productions as a website for the Texas Pro. Battle Up Productions will have the pay-per-view available in a couple days, I'm sure. You do see so much more in person. I told you Ian would piss it in an Australian voice, though. How long have you been on TRT? No, we're not talking about me now. We're talking about the Texas Pro. Don't worry about me. If there's an Ask Ron or something, you can ask me all those questions. Yeah, you see more in person, even though, like I said, they have the 4K, 5K. They have all kinds of excellent cameras and everything, but it's never quite the same because, you know, you're watching it on, maybe if you're watching it on your awesome, they have better than 4K? What's the standard now for like the best TV, like 1,000,000K or I don't know, whatever it is. If you're watching it on a giant TV, maybe it's better. But if you're just watching on obviously a phone or a computer screen, it's not the same. BK, Brandon Kidd. Yeah, we're getting there. Did I go past Brandon? Good as Mr. O going to be buddy with the good. Let me just finish up. So Kim Santos, Ronald Sales, Robert Timms. Yeah, I remember him from being a Gaspari athlete. Brandon Williams, Khan Yalaman. Who did I forget? Jen just reminded me. I don't see Brandon Kidd on this list. He was in Tampa. Okay, men's physique. I'm not going to read all the names. I'll tell you if I recognize. Do you think Steve Kukla has a shot to make top call at the Olympia? Of course. Yeah, he was 6th place, so that's first call out. Usually it's 5 or 6 guys, so yeah, of course he has a chance, of course. Let's see if I know any of these names. Yeah, guys, I confess I don't follow all the divisions equally. I definitely am more knowledgeable and familiar with the open guys, 212 and classic. After that, I try to keep up with all the top names. I do try. Wow, I don't recognize too many of these names at all. Ramsey's Rams from Spain. There you go. Well, there's your winner probably. Because he just won, was it the Portugal show? I think he won over there. I'm surprised he's not doing the Alicante show. He lives in Spain. Maybe because he's already won it. I think he did win it last year. Maybe he wants to win this show. Physique goes into a second page. Of course it does. Brandon Terrier, Thomas. Yeah, from that, I would still go with Ramsey's Rams. Yeah, he's damn good. Pro Bikini, my goodness. Wow, I didn't realize they were going to have all the divisions here. I'm going to see who I recognize from Pro Bikini here. Wow. Ashley Kaltwasser. I think she's won the Olympia 3 times. So Ashley has 6 wins this season. She's done a lot of shows. Remember, they have more bikini pro shows than they do about pretty much any other. Men's physique and bikini, you'll see them tacked on to a lot of NPC regional events, and they won't have open bodybuilding. They won't have open 212 or classic, but they usually will have a lot of shows just have bikini and men's physique. So Ashley, this would be her 7th win if she gets it, and why not? I mean, she was actually part of that conversation when we were talking to Kareth after he had just won, and he was worried I'm taking away someone's Olympia qualification, and JM pointed out Ashley Kaltwasser, as an Olympia champion, she's qualified for life. She doesn't even need to do anything but the Olympia, but she loves to compete. She's a competitor. She's an athlete. She's going after the money, going after the titles. Yeah, 29 wins as a pro. Wow. And you know what? Why not? If you can be the greatest bikini competitor with the most wins of all time, why wouldn't you? I think we'll finally get redemption on Kuklo. Yeah. Like to see Chul in the lineup. Yeah, I don't know why Chul. Sung Chul Lee? Sung Chul Lee, isn't that his name, right? That's why they have so many bikini men's physique shows, yeah. Sung Chul, I don't know why he's not doing this. Maybe he's just not on the list because it's obviously he's flying over from South Korea. It's a long trip anyway. And you got to do all that quarantine crap. Why wouldn't you just stay in the US for a few more days and do another show? I thought he looked great. He just needed to be a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit darker, tan. But Sung Chul was damn good, man. I was very impressed with him. Only other name I recognize on that list for bikini is Francesca Stoico from Italy. She was in the top 5. I think she was 5th in Tampa. Maybe you're back up there, my man. Maybe next year, guys. Maybe this was a dry run. I just want to get in shape because it had been like 8 years since I competed. I just want to get close, see what I look like. See, because I'm all banged up. I just want to see what the injuries have done to me and everything. And until you're really, really lean, you don't know. Looking at yourself in the off season, you can't really see exactly what's going on with your physique. You got to get all the fat off. Yeah, I'll probably be back. I mean, I'm turning 52 next month, so clearly I'm well into the over 50 category. Women's physique. Elizabeth Bradshaw from Corpus Christi. I recognize her. She just took 2nd in Tampa. Turned pro with all the pro cards in, man. That would be the goal, obviously. Let's see. Priscilla Kavilla. I know that name. Lenka Fedonkova. She just won. There you go. She just won in Tampa, and here she is back for another win in Texas. Why not? Someone said Ian shouldn't do Texas because he already has the O qualification. Yeah, that is ridiculous. We talked about, because Milos was there, and he said, back in the 90s, they used to do every show that they could. They would do 10, 12 shows a year a lot of times. Why not? That's your job. Who was better, Ronnie Coleman Olympia 2003 or Phil Heath Olympia 2013? To me, Phil's best look was 2011, the first year he won it. But I was more impressed by Ronnie. It was just an outrageous physique. Lenka will win again, probably, Greg, probably. Let's see who else is on there. Jennifer Jarrett, Ashley Jones, Catherine McLaren. So this is all on ifbbpro.com, guys, the full list. Wow, I do not know a lot of these names. It's still a division with a lot of new people. Okay, that was the last division. So it is happening this Saturday, the pro show. Texas is in Central Time. It's going to be noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern for the pro judge. What's that thing? You think Rolly will nail the show this time? I hope so. I'm a big Rolly fan. I've always been a fan of Rolly's. I'd love to see him big and full and shredded and win that show and dominate. But Nathan Dasher is going to be there too. We'll do another preview. Actually, I'm doing a preview of Giles tomorrow for that show. And the finals. Okay, so judging is at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Finals are at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. BattleUpProductions.com is the website. Yes, there will be a live stream. It's confirmed. Yeah. I think they were just finalizing the details before they released it. It might even already be up by now. It wasn't earlier, but it might be there. So we are going to be doing a live commentary on YouTube on this channel. We're going to be following along with the, did I just spit? We're going to be following along with the live stream. We won't be showing the live stream because you got to pay for that. We're paying for it. And we're going to have a good panel. We're looking to see, we're doing Tim Budesheim can have a shot. Yeah, I barely remember Tim because he's only competed in the U.S. a couple times at shows that I went to anyway. I've only seen him a couple times, but I remember him being very good. And Giles Thomas, my colleague over in the UK, he rates him very highly. Yeah. So like I said, this Saturday at those times, 1 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. is the pro show, the Texas Pro. You can watch on the live stream, get it Battle Up Productions. And we're going to be doing commentary here on YouTube. And you guys are very welcome to join in, debate, criticize people, argue, give people props, whatever you want to do. Last question, ask that again, would you? I'm sorry, because I missed it. It's just because I'm doing this on my phone. The questions just pop up for a second and then they're gone. I guess I could go to our YouTube channel, couldn't I? And see what you're asking. I'll do that, guys. Yeah, 'cause otherwise I lose it. Gotta go to live, text scroll. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna turn the volume off so it doesn't blow your brain, blow your eardrums out. I want to get that last question. I like to, I don't like to leave anybody hanging there. Do you think Ian looks better in person? The live shows don't do him a favor. I don't think the live streams make anybody look better than they look in quote unquote real life. You know, Bob Ciccarello has said many times, he has a phrase says you had to be there. And you know, people say, oh, that's just a way to make excuses for people that didn't look that good. He makes it, you know, it's making it sound like if you're there, they looked a lot better, you know, but at home. Some from MDV and Conte to cover the show. Giles Thomas is actually going to be doing the live stream commentary. I don't think he's going to be able to do coverage on top of that, but he is working for Emilio, the promoter. He's going to be one of the main commentator, him and somebody else, for that live stream for Alicante for the Europa Pro, which is Sunday, the day after this show. So what a weekend. This is the last weekend for open men to qualify for the Olympia. Top two will qualify in Alicante, and only the winner of this will qualify. So, you know, Kuklow's really, I won't say it's his last chance, because also the Arnold Classic that's 2 weeks before the Olympia, the winner for that will qualify for that Olympia. The other three divisions in the Arnold Classic this year, which are fitness, bikini, and classic, they don't qualify for the Olympia this year. They're going to qualify for it the following year, 2022. But if Kuklo, for whatever reason, doesn't win this, he does have one more chance because he's doing the Arnold Classic. Another question about the shows. What are your thoughts on John Meadows? I didn't speak about it. I knew John a little bit. I wish I'd known him better. I'm going to be doing a video with Jose Raymond. Jose knew him very well. We'll be talking about that in the Tampa Pro, because Jose has a show where we talk about different things. But heartbroken for his family, for his wife, for his boys, his twin boys. They look like they're about 9 years old. They're very young. I lost my dad at 16. I can't imagine being even younger than that, and your dad being gone. So my heart really goes out to Mary and the boys. But we lost one of the best people in the sport. He was just every positive attribute you could probably think of. John Meadows fit. Super intelligent, very humble guy. He had no ego. Helped everybody that came to him for help. You know, he made a living as a coach, but he helped a lot of people for free, just out of the kindness of his heart. Anytime I was at an event, people would be flocking to him, and he'd always take the time to take pictures and chat with them and answer questions. And he was just a very generous guy. And man, when we say we lost one of the good ones, there's not too many other people I can think of that were on that level. If you look around and talk to people, nobody has anything bad to say about John. You know, that speaks volumes. There's not many people that fit into that category. I'm sure if I passed away, there would be some people. I've had issues. I have I have my own. You know, people would go back and say, I remember he had said this about that troll, or he had a fight with this guy, or you know. But John just always level-headed. I never saw him react to, you know, because people talk shit all the time. There are negative people out there, and I never saw it bother him, and I never saw him retaliate and argue with anybody or insult them back. Yeah, what a great human being. Incredibly intelligent. Just a storehouse of. I used to listen. Sometimes I would just listen to him talk on his videos and everything, and just be amazed, because he had such a deep grasp of all the aspects: training, nutrition, supplementation, PEDs. He was really a well-rounded expert in all the scientific areas of bodybuilding. He was really in his own way, a self-taught scientist. Yeah, John was. I still can't believe he's gone. I had just seen him 2 weeks before that in Atlanta at the Chicago Pro. Andy Hammond was another great one. Yeah. Didn't know Andy as well. I've spoken to John many times. I've been to events with him, like supplement store events that he was at. Like he was here. It was last year, 2020. No, it was 2019. He was just a few miles away from here at a supplement store, Cape Cod Nutrition, and I got to hang out with him all day at that. Carbon Culture gym openings in Nashville. He was at both of those. Yeah, what an amazing man. Meadows shared all his knowledge for free. People, yeah, it's true. He did. I mean, people say, well, he was a coach. He made money off it. Yeah, he made a living off it, but he was not in it for the money at all. In fact, he was doing great before transitioning to full-time coaching and bodybuilding. He worked in finance. I think he was the vice president of a big major bank, something like that. If I'm getting the details wrong, please forgive me. But I know he was doing very well at that. And he had promised his wife, or I remember the famous story that he wouldn't transition over to full-time coaching and bodybuilding and leave that finance world behind until he had fully paid off his home, so he didn't have to worry about a mortgage. And he did that. He paid off his house and then moved on, which is pretty responsible. Would like to see Josh Lenardowitz. Yeah, Roger Lockridge. What's up, Roger? Yeah, Lenarkowitz. I have a hard time spelling his name. Lenarkowitz. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Josh. I think he's been training and everything. He still looks great. Meadows, yeah. What's this say? One of the great coaches and resources. Yeah. He really was a great, everyone that worked with him, if they ever went to another coach, it wasn't, most of them didn't. Most of them stayed with them, like Missy Truscott, a few people. If they left him, it was just for various reasons. It wasn't because he wasn't a good enough coach or they weren't happy about their placings. Like I said, nobody had anything bad to say about this man. Yeah, just an amazing human being, dedicated father. He coached his kids' football team, kids' football team. So he did that on top of everything else. He was the coach for their Pee-wee football. Josh Lenardowitz. I knew that. You're probably correcting the other guy. Anyway, guys, so that is the list. You can get the full list. You can check it out on ifbbpro.com. The Alicante list is not out yet. Maybe it is by now. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. But we'll see. Clarita, Teresa Ivanchik, Sergio. Yeah, he's worked with a lot of really good people. And they all have nothing but good things to say about him as a coach and as a human being. They all considered him a really good friend because he was just such a kind, warm person. Like I said, positive energy. He always radiated a lot of positive energy. Yeah, he said, this Caesar says, most pros at the time he started sharing information wouldn't put anything on the internet to help anyone. Yeah, it's true. As far as Guy, I have no idea what happened with Guy, and I don't know if Father Time is catching up. I don't know if this is the beginning of the end for Guy or if it was just a bump in the road. I have no idea. He's not that old. He's only 36. He's been around so long, people think he's older, but he's not that old. Europa Pro Championships. What's it? Oh, I guess the list for that just came out. So I guess I'll be doing another video. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll catch you at the next time.